See? No, not at all, Bruce.
I didn't mean to hijack that.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I don't think it was going to be going any further anyway. So don't worry. No. But sincerely, Bruce, if you came and saw my library and the countries I have visited, okay, you will see one thing very clearly. If let's just take for example the African ones, yeah, starting from the top, Morocco, right down to South Africa, going west to Gambia, and going east to Tanzania, right across. Every one of them. I lived in Africa in the rural parts for over 11 years. I can tell you confidently that no, Central Africa. Central Africa.
Of religion.
I just said to you.
People who claim to be prophets. All
Absolutely.
I mean, 1,000 people
Absolutely.
claim to be prophets.
Absolutely.
And what they say, they're
Now,
claiming to be the word of God.
Now, here is what I say.
Have you read all of
Yes,
they've said?
yes, I'll tell you why. Because they are.
I don't think it's possible.
Well, this is the problem. As I was telling the gentleman, David, if you consider something impossible, you will convince yourself it is impossible. If you consider...
Practically, I don't think it's possible. I honestly don't.
I only look young, I already said that. Believe you me, it is possible. Let me tell you something.
I think if it is possible and you've done it, I think it's an unintelligent way of living your life, because what the guy was saying, if the probability is that you've read maybe 50% of these books, and you think they're all tosh, they're not the word of God, you've read half of them, and the next one is just like that one, and the next one you've heard is just like that one. I mean,
let me tell you. Let me tell you something, Bruce.
to read all of them?
No, if you heard me carefully, I never even made that contention. You picked it up. But what I was telling David is this. Look, as I was talking about the idiot's guide, whatever I called it, yeah? What I'm basically saying to you, Bruce, is this. If me and you are having a conversation about X, yeah? And you tell me, this is a brilliant book, yeah? Oh, what's that multi-million Grays, what is it called?
50 Shades of
That's the one, thank you. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah? But it became a multi-million seller, although its subject matter may not be to the taste of all human beings. And I can confidently state for you I have not read it. Okay? So, but the point is that look, if me and you are going to decide to discuss its merits or demerits, and this gentleman, sorry I'm using you as an example, he comes along and says, what are you guys discussing? And we say, oh, we are discussing 50 Shades of Black. He says, no, it's a book. No, 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, well, whatever, colors are the same. He will tell us, oh, excellent, it's a brilliant book. Nah, it's a load of nonsense. And then he asks us, have you guys read it? And we say, no, we haven't. Do you think that's logical?
Yes, if
it's logical. Go ahead, Bruce. I want to hear this.
He knows the genre doesn't interest him. He knows he knows that book is a particular genre, and he knows therefore that book, however well written, is not going to interest him in the slightest. And if we're talking about religion, if it's a revelation claiming to be about God and the truth, blah blah, then David, is that his name?
Yeah, David.
He knows that's not going to interest him.
Okay.
He's already decided.
I agree with you.
That book is just like
Bruce. I completely agree with you, but that is what I said to him, which is what I would kindly state here, that your personal preferences, no one can argue it because it is a subjective thing. However, again I will say, if we are going to formulate a judgment on the book.
Are you recording this?
Yes, of course. If you are thinking where from?
What do you do?
There it is. There, we have those, gyrocopters or whatever. No. We ask for permission, and if they say no, then we don't put them up. So don't worry, you'll be asked that. Okay, I'll ask you. You don't need to worry. You are a handsome fellow. What's wrong with that? You are not. Are you married, Bruce? He's looking. It isn't there. It isn't. Yeah. Listen to me. No, seriously, Bruce. What I am saying to you is this: if we are going to formulate a judgment on a book, then it is no way defensible to state that if it is not the genre that you are interested in, that is illogical If I can finish, Bruce, if I can finish. Unreasonable and illogical. Why? Because if he asked, have you read the book? And we turn around and tell him, well, it's not a genre that interests us. He will say, okay, but how are you commenting on the book? It is illogical completely. You are actually...
the comments you would make would be fairly general, throwaway comments, wouldn't they? They wouldn't really be addressing...
But here is the difference, Bruce.
No, but so if I'm taking an African religion, let's say...
Go on.
I don't know the names of any African religions, let alone read their books.
Okay.
So, and yet... I don't feel any compulsion to read their books. I don't think I have to, because I see it in the context that, well, that's just a man-made religion that is in the same tradition, same kind of thing.
Can I stop you there?
There's all
but here,
things that
Bruce,
we see
Bruce,
that are claiming to be revelation in the truth.
Your reasoning...
I mean, we only differ in one respect. That you dismiss 99%, or 99.9%.
Have I dismissed anything?
Books that claim to be revelation.
Have I dismissed anything? Bruce, in our conversation, have I dismissed anything?
I'm presuming you're a Muslim.
Wait a minute, have I dismissed anything?
I'm presuming you're a Muslim.
If you are going to presume, one second, if you are going to presume I'm Muslim, you are correct.
Right,
but,
so therefore
but
I'm
now,
correcting my other assumption
no, you aren't.
That you have dismissed these other books
you aren't.
as being the word of God.
You aren't, because again, you see, I said, and I will say it again, yes, for me to dismiss anything objectively, yes, logic and reason dictates that I should have at least assessed the books. Now I made that clear.
You have dismissed
no, one second. I made it very clear. Now here is what the Qur'an says about these other books. Okay, the Qur'an very clearly tells us that all of humanity are one family, and to every nation, to every part of the world, a prophet was sent. So all of them who adhered to that were Muslims. No problem.
There is a problem. I mean, the Quran might say that, but these books tell completely different stories, don't they?
Now, thank you very much, Bruce. So what are the different stories?
Oh, well, you're saying that if someone...
No, you tell me. What are the different stories?
I don't know the specific different stories.
But here we are. How can you start commenting on something that is not there anymore?
Then let me ask you.
That's fine.
Someone of this other religion in Africa,
yes.
this religion I don't know of, and they follow their book.
Yes.
They're
Which
Muslim,
book?
Are they? They're going to go to heaven.
Which book?
Whatever their
yes,
book
absolutely. Is. If they follow it according to that book and what it contains, yes, they will.
That's not in the Quran.
Where?
In the Quran, you have to follow Allah's message, and that is
you see, David, you see, Bruce, you are absolutely correct. That now you have a big problem. Do you know what the problem is? You have just commented on a book. Now you are now going to tell me that you have studied that book.
No, you tell me what
there you are.
Well, you tell me. No, I'm not answering that question. You tell me what my big problem is.
I just told you. The Quran clearly stipulates, okay, that to every nation was sent a guide.
Okay, but the Quran also says that you have to believe in Allah as the one God.
Yeah.
And you have to believe in the Quran and His message as the one message.
Yeah.
So
is that it?
Obviously a contradiction there.
No, there isn't.
So what you just said,
David, Bruce, is that all the Quran says?
No, I'm saying
about the Creator.
I'm saying it says.
Is that all it says?
It says that.
Now you have a big problem because you are going to have to say, well, I don't know.
I don't need to say that. I'm saying it says that.
Yeah, but Bruce, listen to me.
It says that.
No, not at all.
I want to know what else it says, but I'm not talking about what else it says. I'm saying that it says that.
Yeah, but here is the problem I'm saying. And here is why there is so much sense in actually reading the book first before you... If I can just... No, let me finish. I asked you. You said no.
You made the assumption before. You said I
had no. I had asked.
And then you kind of backtracked and you said, have you
No, Bruce.
No, that's what you happened.
Well, we'll see. It is recorded, isn't it?
I haven't studied
we will see.
I've read it a couple of times.
David, I asked you. Sorry, Bruce. I asked you, have you read it?
No,
what did you say?
After you said, here you've got a big problem.
No.
Because you were going down the line that I hadn't read the Quran, so therefore
not
I
at all.
Comment on it.
Well, actually, Bruce, I had asked both of you. Now, I don't mind. You have now. If that is the case,
if you want me to say everything in the Quran?
No. I didn't say that.
Obviously not.
I asked you in relation to the Creator. What else does it say apart from what you said?
Obviously, you have something specific in mind, so why don't you just
It is specific about the Creator.
tell me what else it says then that you think is
But here is the
relevant to
problem,
this
Bruce, here is the problem. I agree with you, and look, and the very contention that I am making to you is this, that look, logic dictates that if you are going to comment on some subject matter,
I've asked you a simple question. You said
can
to
I
me,
finish, Bruce?
what else was in the Qur'an?
Can I finish? In relation to the Creator, I made it very clear.
say it.
Now,
What
are
do
you,
you have in mind?
wait a minute, how did you come to the conclusion if you are not aware that this is all it says about Allah?
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
You have to listen to me.
I did listen very
I
carefully.
said in the Quran,
Yes.
it says that thing about Allah and
About what?
that you have to believe that Allah is the one God.
Hmm.
You have to follow Allah's one problem. And
Where-
the Quran might say that, but these books tell completely different stories, don't
Now, thank you very much, Bruce. So
you're
what are the
saying-
different stories?
they? Oh, well, you're saying that if
No,
someone...
no, you tell me. What are the different stories?
I don't know the specific different stories.
But here we are. How can you start commenting on something that is not there anymore?
Then let me ask you.
That's
someone of
fine.
this other religion in Africa,
Yes.
this
Yeah.
religion I don't know of, and they follow their book.
Yes.
They're a
Which
Muslim,
book?
are they? They're going to go to heaven.
Which
are they?
book?
Whatever their
Yes,
book is.
absolutely. If they follow it according to that book and what it contains, yes, they will.
That's not in the Quran.
Where?
In the Quran, you have to follow Allah's message, and that is how
You see, David, you see, Bruce, you are absolutely correct. That now you have a big problem. Do you know what the problem is? You have just commented on a book. Now, you are now going to tell me that you have studied that book.
No, you tell me what my
There you are. Well,
You tell me. No, I'm not answering that question. You tell me what my big problem is.
I just told you, the Quran clearly stipulates, okay, that to every nation was sent a guide.
Okay, but the Quran also says that you have to believe in Allah as the one God.
Yeah.
And you have to believe in the Quran and His
Absolutely.
message as the one message.
Yeah.
So
Is that
there's
it?
obviously a contradiction there.
No, there isn't.
To what you just said.
David, Bruce, is that all the Quran says
No, I'm saying
about the
it
Creator?
says- I'm saying it says
Is that all it says?
It says that.
Now you have a big problem because you are going to have to say, well, I don't know.
I don't need to say that. I'm saying it says that.
Yeah, but Bruce,
You want to
listen
ignore
to
that
me.
it says that.
No, not at
You
all.
want to know what else it says, but I'm not talking about what else it says. I'm saying that it says that.
Yeah, but here is the problem I am saying, and here is why there is so much sense in actually reading the book first
You
before
see,
you.
you're making
If
that
I can just
assumption again
no,
that I
let me
haven't read the
finish.
book.
No, I asked you. You said no.
You made the assumption before. You said I had
No,
a big
no. I had
problem.
asked.
And then you kind of backtracked and you said, have you
No,
studied
Bruce.
the Quran?
I
No, that's what you happened.
Well, we'll see. It is recorded, isn't
I haven't
it?
studied
We
the
will
Quran.
see.
I've read it a couple of times.
David, I asked you. Sorry, Bruce. I asked you. Have you read it? What did
That
you
was
say?
After you said, here you've got a big problem.
No.
Because you were
Well,
going down the line that I hadn't read the Quran, so therefore
not
I
at
couldn't
all.
comment on it.
Well, actually, Bruce, I had asked both of you. Now, I don't
So,
mind.
I have
You
read-
have now. If that is the
But if
case,
you want me to say everything that in the
no,
Quran that I've read,
I didn't say that.
Obviously not.
I asked you in relation to the Creator. What else does it say apart from what you said?
Obviously, you have something specific in mind, so why don't you just
It is specific about the Creator.
tell me what else it says then that you think is
But here is the
relevant to this
problem, Bruce.
conversation?
Here is the problem. I agree with you. And look, and the very contention that I am making to you is this: that look, logic dictates that if you are going to comment on some subject matter,
I've asked you a simple question. You said
can
to
I
me,
finish, Bruce?
what else was in the Quran?
can I finish? In relation to the Creator, I made it very clear.
say it.
Now,
What
are
do
you?
you have in mind?
Wait a minute. How did you come to the conclusion if you are not aware that this is all it says about Allah?
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
You have to listen to me.
I
I
did
said
listen
in-
very
I
carefully.
said in the Quran,
Yes.
it says that thing about Allah and
About what?
that you have to believe that Allah is the one God.
Hmm.
You have to follow Allah's one message, which is the Quran. It's the only message. It's not that book in Africa. that's claiming to be the truth.
No, you don't know about that book either.
No, I don't know about
that's
the book.
The problem.
You're saying that's not a problem for them. They can believe in that book.
And what did I say?
And that's their prophet that's also been sent by Allah.
And what did I say?
And that's fine. They'll go to heaven, but they won't go to heaven because in the Quran it says you have to believe in the Quran.
Where does it say that?
Allah, not this version.
Where does it say? But here is what I asked.
So you're the one who's got the big problem because there's a contradiction there.
That's up to you if you want to think like that. But if you
answer it then.
Well, I'm trying to, but you are not following reason.
You're not following reason.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so let's not just keep bandying that about.
No, not at all, Bruce. You see, you don't know about those. You say you have read the Quran, but you have not studied it. You have made a claim about what the Quran says. Let me finish, Bruce. Let me finish. Bruce, let me finish. I'm reiterating what you said.
Undermine me.
Oh, Bruce, no. Well, if that's the case,
logic.
Bruce, if that's the case, Bruce, I don't need to undermine.
Address the reason.
No,
You're
Bruce,
trying to undermine me.
Why would I want to do that? It's your argument. Bruce, it's your argument I'm addressing, not you.
No, you're
if you listen to me carefully, I'm addressing your argument. And if you hear, and this is what I've repeated constantly, Bruce, I said, listen carefully. No. You can only ask once you have answered my question. It's only logical. Now, I made a simple contention here, and I'm making it again. You see, the Quran talks about humanity as one family. I made that clear. And I said prophets were sent to every. Then you asked me, okay, but the Quran says you must believe only Allah is one, that only Islam is the truth, only this book. And then you said, but those guys, who are following only that bit, will they go to heaven? What did I say? I said, if they follow only that, yes, they will. You are disagreeing. There you are. Now look at this. If you are saying it doesn't say it in the Quran, I now have to ask you, okay, you are making the claim, show me where in the Quran it dismisses what I'm saying.
I'm not showing you where, I'm showing you the words.
Tell me what they are.
The sentiment is, there is only one way to heaven, and that is through Allah, and believing that the Quran and Muhammad is the messenger. That is what it says in the Quran. If it says something contradictory to that as well, obviously that's a problem for the Quran, but it's not a problem for me.
But brother, when you say it is a sentiment it is following, that is vastly different to establishing the fact.
Oh, well, look, you can look, I've got the Quran here today, free from there. We can look through it and we can find where it says Allah is...
Please.
I'm not going to do it.
Oh, come on, Bruce. No, it's not. You are making the claim, Bruce.
Bruce, you can do it.
You are making the claim.
Oh, am I going to have to... Go through all
No, it's not that. It's up to you.
Are you denying
it's not I'm denying. I am saying...
You're not denying it says
No, I am saying to you, you are wrong.
You're denying that it says that.
You listen to me carefully. You are wrong.
You're denying that what I said. You're saying that what I said
What did you say?
Wrong.
What did you say?
In the Quran, it says that the only way to heaven is through believing in Allah, believing in the Quran is the one message of Allah, and that Muhammad is the messenger of that message.
And that's it.
That is it.
Okay, you are wrong.
It says that in the Quran.
You are wrong. It doesn't say that. And in fact, I will repeat what it does say to you. Okay? And I made this very clear,
You're
Bruce.
Denying it says that.
I just said yes.
Okay.
I also said to you, in fact...
I'm absolutely 100% sure it says that.
Of course you are, but that's true. Here is what I'm saying to you, David. No, Bruce. The problem is, I keep calling him David.
So you think that
Bruce,
other religions...
Listen, now you are diverting.
Well.
Let me finish, Bruce.
No, this is what you're saying.
Let me finish one point, Bruce. Let me finish. Very kind of you. Thank you.
I'm
Bruce.
saying about these other religions in Africa.
Now here we go again.
In other parts of the world, all over the world, have their own prophets, have their own revelatory books, have their own claims to truth. You're saying that, well, that's all right. That's all part of humanity and one brotherhood. They're all going to heaven as well. That's what you're claiming.
Here is what I will say to you again. I said to you very clearly that the Quran addresses the whole of humanity, as I was saying to David. Okay? It also talks about humanity being one family, and accordingly, the Creator sent to every nation a guide, a prophet. Okay? Now, I want you to logically think about this. If, according to the Quran, to every nation around the world a prophet was sent, who sent them?
Well, you're saying that...
No, according to the Quran. The Creator did. If the Creator sent a prophet to the Bantu tribe in West Africa, as an example, okay, the Creator sent the prophet, what message did the prophet take to them? That there is one Creator.
Well, no, not all religions believe in one Creator.
So now here I
believe in many gods.
Here you see, let's just follow the thread and then we can come to that issue.
You said something that was factually incorrect, so I'm going
wait a minute, I haven't yet because I haven't finished my point. So, on the point
if your point relies on the fact that in those religions
Bruce,
the prophet also says there's one Creator, it's completely wrong.
Bruce,
in many religions there are very different concepts of
respectfully,
God.
if you allow me to finish, maybe you'll get a sense of what I'm trying to say to you. Yeah? So, if every...
If that's your point, it's not going to make sense.
Can I finish? If every prophet was sent by the same Creator, logic dictates that every prophet came with the same message. Logic dictates, if I can just finish.
Yeah, logic would dictate
if I can finish.
That they don't shows that that's not
Can
true.
I finish? But that makes it all the more reason.
Problem for you.
Oh, can I
That's
finish?
the problem for you, isn't it?
Bruce.
Because it's a contradiction.
Okay, if you want it, it will only be a contradiction because you don't want to hear the rest of my
You don't want to follow the logic. Well, why don't you let me finish the logic?
That's fine. All I am saying to you, Bruce, is this. Logically speaking, what you are actually confirming is the truth of the Quran, and I will tell you how. Because if...
Well, let's keep on this point. Let's keep on this point.
Which point?
The point about these other religions.
That's what I'm doing.
Right.
But you are not allowing me to finish, you keep interjecting. Anyway, Bruce, I said every nation was sent a guide, and it would logic dictates that it would be the same message coming from the same Creator to all the nations.
Logic would dictate.
I am saying that. Logic would dictate.
I agree.
Now, the question is this. You suddenly interjected and said, yeah, but what about there are others who believe in more than one God?
As an example.
As an example. And I said, well,
diversity of different concepts of God.
Whatever.
No, it's not whatever. It's different.
I'm only dismissing it out of hand because I wanted the discussion to progress. Now, I would say to you, on that point, you actually are affirming the veracity of the Quran. Why? Because for me and you, to understand that if every prophet was sent to the nations and each one brought the same message about the one Creator, and Mr. Z here has decided to introduce another Creator, okay, we now are going to have to adopt a criteria, a yardstick, wherewith to judge or to determine evidentially whether there is any validity to the contention that is being made by this individual as opposed to the rest of the world who are thinking there is one Creator. Logic dictates we are going to need a yardstick. What would that yardstick be? I'm asking you.
I'm saying you tell me. You
all right, okay. The Quran.
The Quran.
Yeah. Now for you to disagree, you are going to have to counter with evidence. And at this moment in time, I don't think you can do that. Oh, it's okay, not a problem. No, it's not that, Bruce. It's not that.
What I judge it all by the Quran.
Yeah. Now, can you see how important it has become for you to study the Quran?
So, you're saying that all these other religions, they are false?
Now,
they are
Bruce,
false.
Right, Bruce, before you came in, maybe you never heard what I said.
Judging by the yardstick of the Quran.
Yeah, no.
All these other religions in the world are false.
Which other religions?
Whichever ones you
right,
want
okay.
to
No,
look at.
I would not say that. I would not say that.
There are thousands of concepts of God.
I'm so glad you are bringing this up. You see, each point you are bringing is actually confirming my contentions.
So they're all false.
The other contention that you are now proving to be correct from me is this.
So in fact, they do all go to hell.
Okay.
They don't make it to heaven.
Bruce, whatever you want to think, I'm not going to argue it. But on a factual basis, you are nowhere near.
You have to follow the one.
That's up to you. That's up to you to think. The point is that
it has to be the God of the Quran.
Okay.
That is the one way to get to heaven.
No problem, Bruce. Whatever Bruce, whatever your opinion is fine. I don't mind. What I am saying to you
no other true God other than Allah.
What I am saying to you, Bruce, is this.
Allah's only got one revelatory message.
No problem. What I'm trying to...
So there's no way out of that, really. There's no way around that.
Bruce, you are right. There is no way around it. But I would suggest one thing only that has come out of this conversation. You have made yourself realize how important it is for you now to study the Quran.
I've just read it.
I didn't say read, I said study.
I've read it and it's complete rubbish.
God bless.
That's my...
That's fine, no problem. No problem at all, Bruce. Aren't you going to shake my hand?
I don't need to shake your hand.
Oh, come on, let's go as
to
friends.
I'm quite happy talking to you.
I would not mind at all, but you know what I am...
We can talk about something else, about the Quran.
Not 50 Shades of Grey, because I haven't read it.
We can talk about how God has put down a blanket over my heart and my ears and my eyes.
Are you proving him right?
As an unbeliever.
Are you proving him right?
What chance do I have?
Lord,
what kind of God would do that?
I'll tell you.
What kind of chance do I have when he's already done that?
I'll tell you what, Bruce. At the end of the day...
That's not my doing. That's not my choice. That's God's doing.
You take it up with the...
choice.
No, he's right. You take it up with the Creator.
Well,
okay.
But where's the logic in that? If it's a loving, all-powerful being...
Which logic are you talking about here now?
And it's...
Up to now you have been illogical, Bruce.
No, I'm talking about the logic.
Which one?
No, I haven't been logical.
Yes, you have.
I just haven't seen my logic.
Oh, excellent. I agree with you.
I'm talking about the Creator, supposedly, is all-powerful,
Bruce,
is loving.
Are we stopping the conversation?
And I don't have a chance because...
You don't?
As an unbeliever,
Bruce,
he has made me an unbeliever because he's put this veil over my heart and my ears and over my over my eyes.
Now tell me, if you are
Bruce, it's a waste of time you talking to me. The Quran says that.
If you are aware of that, if you are aware of it,
I can't change it. Allah's already done that to me.
If you want to use that as an excuse, good luck to you. I don't mind.
It's not an excuse.
Like I said, I said logic dictates is this. I agree with you.
I've got more power than Allah and I can lift these things. You're saying that.
Can I respond?
You're saying that.
Can I respond?
That would make him more powerful.
Brother, can I respond? Can I respond? Can I respond?
He's done that to every non-believer.
Can I respond?
It's perverse. Don't you think that's perverse?
Can I respond?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, listen, brother. You see, when you talk about the hearts being covered, the eyes being shut, or deaf, dumb and blind, they shall not return to the path. Okay, I'll tell you this. I would suggest this to you, brother. If you are aware that there is a message which, according to you, claims that you are shut off, yes, then it makes it...
It doesn't claim it's my doing that I'm shut off.
Can I finish?
Well, it's important.
Let me finish. Then you will know.
Okay, and then I'll respond.
This exactly. That's the idea of...
I'm sorry.
It's okay, don't worry. I know, you are excited.
You keep saying these things which, are important.
You know, one day a lady was doing what you were doing, yeah? And I mean this sincerely. She was content. I said, look, I appreciate that because you are standing in front of me, you are getting excited, but I can't say that with you. It's a very dangerous idea.
So I do finish your long-winded point. The danger is that it's got lost.
I would not.
Sincerely,
that is why I'm going slowly. What I'm trying to say to you, Bruce, is this. If you make a contention, yes, it is like me. If I make a claim or a contention, then logic and reason dictates that I am the one who would have to provide the evidence for it. Now, if you have said, the Quran says to you that I am shut off, I am this, I am that, it's not my doing, God has done it. Yes. I am saying to you, well, now it gives you an even greater incentive to study the Quran fully, to understand whether it does really say what you are saying.
That gives me no incentive. That's completely illogical. It gives me no incentive.
That's fine.
Because God says, I'm a waste of time. He says, don't bother, it's a waste of time. And it says, it's not my doing that I'm shut off, it is Allah's doing. So why would that give me more incentive?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
When an all-powerful being has decided to do that to me.
I'll tell you why, Bruce.
It makes sense.
I'll tell you why. And this is going to start. Do you drive a car?
Yes.
You do? Are you a Londoner?
For 20 years, yeah.
When you drive around, have you ever gone through red lights?
Yeah, all the time on a bike, yeah.
Oh, are you on a bike? You don't drive? On a drive? I mean, when you're driving?
Yeah, no. In a car, no.
In a car?
Sometimes.
Have you ever? Yeah, but in the majority of times you haven't?
Majority, no.
Why?
because I might get caught by the police.
You might get caught by the police because there's a law stating that you can't.
Yes.
Okay. Now, work this out. The legislation is in the Road Traffic Act, okay, concerning traffic lights.
Right.
If I go through the red and the police pull me, and he comes to me and he says, Mr. Yusuf, you went through red lights. Officer, yes I did. Mr. Yusuf, are you not aware that it is illegal? No. But it is. No. I've read the Road Traffic Act. It's not there. So the kind policeman goes, he says, section so and so. No. I only read Road Traffic Act. I didn't go any further. That's all I read. Is that reasonable?
Ignorance is no defense.
Thank you.
Right.
You've answered your own
Can I
question.
say why your analogy does not fit?
Of course,
The
you are.
analogy would
I
fit.
saw your 3
The
seconds of
analogy-
thinking quick.
The analogy would fit.
Yeah.
The true analogy is he hasn't read the Road Traffic Act.
No, listen to what I just said.
Well,
I'm sorry. No. 1 second. Because I said very clearly.
Okay, it's
I've
all right,
only
but
read
you-
the road. I've only read the Road Traffic Act. Nothing below.
Okay, so he hasn't read it properly.
No.
Let's
I
just
didn't
say-
want to. I just agreed with that. That's all.
All right, so you haven't read it properly. It's Road Traffic Act, right?
What do you mean read it properly?
Well, what is it you were saying he hasn't done?
That's
properly?
exactly what I said.
Heading on the top.
I read the Road Traffic Act and I said that's it.
Right. So he hasn't read it or read
What
it
is
properly.
Hasn't
underneath,
understood
what
it
goes
properly.
away, you know, you
Okay,
understand?
fine. He hasn't understood it properly.
Yeah.
But to make your analogy actually work,
Uh-huh.
the fact that he hasn't understood it is because God has made him not read it or not being intelligent enough to read it. That's the true analogy.
Brilliant.
Which you've left out of your
Okay,
analogy.
I will include it in. The police officer asks me. That's what it says. I read only that, and something just doesn't allow me to go any further. Valid?
That's what's in the Qur'an, yes.
No, I'm asking, is that valid according to the police officer?
Of course not.
Why not?
Okay, mate, you're...
Not okay. Answer to answer.
Can I...
Yeah,
can
go ahead.
I
Of course,
say
Bruce.
my own idea?
Apologies, go
Okay,
on.
I was wrong about the analogy.
Okay, let's
But-
drop it.
No, let's
Go
keep
further
it,
then.
but let's make it accurate.
Okay.
So the police officer is the person who blinds you and stops you from... Can I finish?
I'm
The
not.
police officer, the authority, in your analogy, he is God. I'm making him God. He is the person who has blinded you and shut your heart off and made you dumb to the message of breaking red lights, right? He's the one who's done that to you. Then you go and break a red light. And then he comes after you and says, you've just broken a red light, I'm going to really punish you.
Uh-huh.
And therefore, it is a valid defence for that person to say, hold on, you're going to punish me, but you're the one who stopped me from reading and getting the message from the Road Traffic Act. That is the true analogy.
Okay. Now here's the problem.
So therefore, it's the policeman who's
Well,
at fault, isn't it?
actually-
it's just perverse.
actu-
If the policeman is going to try and punish someone, if the policeman is going to try and punish someone, and he's the one who's caused
But
it,
David,
not to get the
I
message.
told him very, very.
I mean, that's just perverse.
Bruce,
isn't
you
it?
see, I agree with.
And unfortunately, the punishment
Can I fin-
isn't 3 points on your license.
Okay,
It's
3.
eternity in hell. So it's a
Okay.
bit more serious than that, isn't it?
I agree with
Which
you.
makes it perverse.
No.
Which
You
makes it sadistic.
Are you finished?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, you see, the problem here is when you knew, well, actually, no, let's change it a bit. Let's include
let's
this.
keep it.
Let me finish. No, I'm telling what you have done. You see, the police officer you said has become God. I didn't.
In the analogy.
In the analogy, if I can finish,
Well, okay, in
I
your
didn't say
analogy-
that. What did I say? I said,
Yeah, which is why your
So-
analogy didn't work. It
Wait,
wasn't
it
an
has worked.
analogy to the Quran situation
It has
that I'm
wo-
talking about.
No.
I made it analogous to
Okay.
that situation in the
Okay,
Quran.
but you are taking that human being, the police officer, and you have translated him or elevated him to God. Okay, that's your analogy.
The analogy.
But it is an invalid
Analogous.
one. It is an invalid one. Why? Because when you are talking to, and that is why I was careful about when I said something. I didn't say human being. The problem here is this. You see, when you take a human being, you know that according to the example I used, the police officer cannot condemn me. The police officer cannot convict me. If I can finish, well, let me just finish. He can't do it. What he will tell me is, did you only read the Road Traffic Act? Yes. Something made me read only that and I didn't go any further. He will tell me, Mr. Yusuf, details. Let me finish.
He's the judge, he's the jury.
Now you are changing it again.
No, but that's
let
what's
me
making
finish.
the analogy. Your analogy, that would
It
make
wasn't mine, it was yours.
to
Let me see if it doesn't, okay?
But that's your objection. I'm saying it's not really an objection.
Bruce, it's not an objection. I got it right. I said, Bruce, yeah? Bruce, listen.
Call me David, I don't mind.
Yeah? What I am saying to you is this. You see, the issue I raised is about how you have only read one thing in the Quran and decided that's it. I'm not. One second.
Bad assumption.
Well, let me finish.
I'm just pointing out
David,
this one thing.
David, I asked you what does.
Fine. It's okay.
I do apologize, Bruce.
I don't mind.
I did say to you, what does the rest of the Quran say about it? Did I not say that? I did. Now, I'm just trying to follow your logic here, and every time it is falling down. Sincerely, yes. If I can just.
You haven't shown that at
Can
all.
I just? Well, can I just finish? Let me ask you again
It's
then.
mentioned twice in the Quran, 2 verses.
Hey, you know about that, don't
Same
you?
thing.
Yeah.
Same thing that God has
What
done
does
it
the
to
Quran say? What does the rest of the Quran say about it?
I don't know.
Why don't we? I don't mind saying you don't know. It's fine.
So you're saying some verses aren't important. So
Sorry?
it doesn't stand on
No,
its own.
no,
I mean,
no,
that's
it
a very
doesn't-
clear statement to me.
No,
You're saying
but
that
again-
there must be something else in the Quran that kind of invalidates
Again,
that
Bruce.
statement. It's not
Again,
right.
Bruce. No.
That statement stands. It's very clear.
No.
God has done it to me.
No. What I am saying to you is this.
He's done it to non-believers.
Well, no. That's what you want to think. That's up to
That's
you.
what it says in the Quran.
Well, there you go again. You want to take one thing like the Road Traffic Act and you want to conclude. That's up to you. But the point I'm making to you is this. Very clearly,
He says, I have done this to
the
non-believers.
Quran.
What is more clear? than
One second, I'll tell you. The Quran is very, very clear. Let me ask you another question. If it says that about unbelievers, according to you, yes?
that? Are you
have
denying it? It says.
Can
So
I finish?
Why say according to me?
Well,
It says-
no, that's because you haven't taken the whole of it.
No, but you're denying it says that.
There
specific
we
thing.
go again. You see,
says that
sorry, brother.
specifically.
Are you going?
Yes.
Sorry, bro. Okay,
Inshallah.
Jazakallah.
I'll see you next
Inshallah.
time, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Look
Yeah.
after yourself.
Yeah. कितने बज गए?
It's
Yeah, सत्यानाश अभी जाने पड़ेगा. Yeah, no problem, Jazakallah. Yeah. So, at the end of the day, Bruce, it is simple. Yeah. He's finally decided to find it. That's great stuff.
Allah has set a seal upon their hearts.
Surah 2.
2:7. Allah
Yes.
has set a seal upon their hearts and upon their hearing, and over their vision is a veil. And for them it was a great punishment.
Where are you reading from?
It is the same for them whether you warn them or do not warn them. They will not believe, and they don't believe because Allah has set the seal upon their hearts and upon their hearing. So
Yes.
the reason they don't believe is because Allah has done that,
Yeah.
which is perverse.
And what else?
It's perverse, isn't it?
And what else does it say? Is that it?
Well, why? What else? I mean,
Well, I'll tell you.
Why
I'll tell-
not just address that?
I'll tell you why. You see, what does he say at the start? What is this?
Which part? Number 2.
Well, you have just picked out this one. There are verses before and after. What does it say?
Well, do you want me to read it out?
Oh, okay. This is what I said. No, this is what I said. Look, there's the whole. Look at this. Yeah.
Well, you tell me
Sincerely,
what you
no.
think they are.
I'll tell
The
you.
point is-
I will tell you. Look at this, Bruce, and you've got to agree with me on this.
Well, no. What's the point in those?
Wait,
you
I'm
made
coming to-
attention to those preceding verses.
I'm going to come
What
to
was the
that.
point
I'm going to
in
come to that. I'm going to come to that. Don't worry.
I just picked this up today. I don't know if it's a good translation or what. It's
Doesn't
picked it
matter.
up
Don't
from the
worry.
table.
That's from that table there. 662 page. No. Let's go to the end of here. Yeah. 660 pages. Full of statements. Yeah. All this and you got stuck on only one.
I didn't get stuck on it. This is
Okay.
what I'm bringing to your attention.
No,
you don't have to denigrate it just by saying
No, I'm
that.
not denigrating it at all.
Of course you are.
No, Bruce, you are getting Bruce, you are getting emotional. Don't need to.
No.
Stay logical.
Yours was an emotional appeal. Why didn't you stick to reason?
No, I am saying to you, all this you have not studied.
Yeah.
You are stuck on this.
Well, there you go again. You're appealing to an emotional thing. I'm stuck on it.
No,
I'm not stuck on it.
Okay, tell me, what does it mean?
I have brought that to your attention.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll
said,
explain it.
Well, what do the preceding verses
Yes,
say?
because if
What's
it
your
says,
point?
I'll tell you. It says here, who believe in the unseen, establish prayer and spend out of what we have provided for them, and who believe in what we have revealed to you, and what was revealed before you, and of the hereafter they are certain. Those are upon guidance from their Lord, and it is those who are the successful. Indeed, those who disbelieve, it is all the same for them, whether you warn them or do not warn them, they will not believe. Allah has set a seal upon their hearts and upon their hearing, and over their vision is a veil, and for them is a great punishment. And of the people are some who say, we believe in Allah and the last day, but they are not believers. Now, this statement here, you have taken this one. This one says there are some who believe, but they are not believers. Who is going to know that?
Why is that relevant?
You will answer my question first and you'll see. Who is going to know this?
What, the people say they believe in Allah, but don't really?
But don't. Who is going to know that?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, according to your idea, that would be God.
According to this, who knows whose hearts are sealed and why?
Well, Allah's done it, so He would know.
But who knows?
Allah.
Do you know?
I don't know.
Thank you.
No, listen.
Let me finish.
I'm a non-believer. So according to this,
you aren't an unbeliever.
I'm a non-believer. So
you
according
aren't.
to this, I am a non-believer because Allah has set a seal upon my heart.
No, you are not.
I cannot even comprehend this message and take it on board because
of this.
Allah has stopped me from doing so.
Okay, that's
Allah has
fine.
stopped that.
That's fine. Like I told you, I told you,
do you accept that's true?
your reasoning is completely flawed.
Oh, you just waved it away with saying.
No, not at all.
I just said it to you.
Not at all.
What is false about that reasoning? It's there.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
Okay, so what is it
Bruce,
about what's written there?
Listen, I'll tell you.
Which contradicts what I just said.
I'll tell you. You see, at the end of the day, and I've told you this even when you raised it earlier on.
Are you?
One second. One second.
You can address it.
I've already addressed it.
No, you haven't.
Okay, let me go again. I'm telling you.
Do you accept? That's what
I
it says.
accept this completely, but it doesn't apply to you.
Oh, why not? How do you know?
I'll tell you. Because you haven't studied the rest. And I told you that consistently.
But the fact is,
now you are lying.
I have read the rest.
You just
I said.
I have read the rest twice.
Brother. Now, Bruce, one second.
The
One
point
second.
is, I am an
Bruce,
unbeliever.
I just said you are not. You can't be. Should I tell you why?
I don't
No.
believe it.
There you go. You see, for you to logically, and I did make this very clear, logically, rationally, reasonably, yes, if you insist, I'm trying to, the best example to give you about the ayah, the verse that you have referred to. Okay? A person is told, you know what? Drugs are illegal.
We're going back to the
One second. I'm trying to be as simple as I can, to be honest with you, Bruce.
That didn't work last time.
Well, in your mind, nothing works.
Well, it didn't work until I amended it, and then it was
back there. Yes, like I told you, I know that you can't. That verse doesn't apply to you. Number one. Number two,
you know that.
I guaranteed no.
You know that.
I know it doesn't apply to you.
I'm
yes.
a non-believer.
Now there you go again.
I'm a non-believer, which is what it says here.
Well, actually, no. It doesn't say you are the non-believer. It's making a statement about non-belief.
So
you are not.
I qualify for this.
How are you an unbeliever when you have not even studied it?
This is a pile of rubbish. It's man-made fiction.
That's fine.
It's man-made fiction.
That's fine.
Doesn't that not qualify me as a non-believer?
I'll tell you.
So do I go to heaven or hell?
One second, Bruce.
If I died right now,
Bruce,
on this spot,
Bruce.
If I died right now on
I'll
the
bring
spot,
this.
Do I go to heaven?
Right,
or hell?
excellent. Did you just say you don't believe in this pile of rubbish?
Yeah, I don't believe.
Okay,
I don't
one second.
believe in this book.
You don't
To me,
believe in it.
is
Now,
nonsense.
1 second.
It's not worthless.
Now
Because it's such a lie.
your answer is there. Okay, as I told you, but you don't want to hear.
How much more do I have to say bad
Here
about
we
the
go
book
again.
to be called a non-believer?
Now watch this. I've told you consistently, which you don't want to. You know that if you say yes to it, it's what they say. You know, end of discussion. I pointed out this to you. I tried to be easy about this. This is what? What is this?
You know
ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابِ. What does it say? Can you read it, please? Read it.
No, I'm not.
I didn't think you would.
You can read
You see, Bruce. The point is, and I.
No, it's patronising me.
No, I would not. I would not. I'll tell you why.
There's no point. We both.
Bruce, can I say something to you? You see, the problem is, and I'll be honest with you, because I've had these discussions. Can I just finish? You are extremely defensive. You continually
try to undermine
Bruce,
me, which is your tactic. So if I'm defensive, that's partly
Bruce, about 15-20 minutes ago, when you raised it up the first time about me being patronizing, I put my hand out because that is not what I want to do. If I wanted to do it, it would have been only a matter of 5 minutes, and I mean this sincerely.
You
I am being
patronize me, saying that I'm being illogical, I'm being unreasonable.
No, I said your arguments.
You can just...
Yeah?
Well,
now,
okay,
here.
I'm not taking it personally. I'm talking about...
You are. That's why you are getting defensive. You see, Bruce, let me tell you something. I'll tell you. Not at all. No, look, I told you. What does this say?
Read out loud.
No, not at all. Look, I'm pointing it out. What does it say? Just read it. Now, I'm not saying read it aloud. I'm just saying just read it.
What trying to make a point. Just make a point.
He won't read it because his point is.
Brother, don't worry. Brother, I'll tell you what.
Let him read it for himself.
No, I am saying to you.
If you want to read it and make that
Bruce,
point, just say what your point is. What words interest you that you want to say about
Look, you asked about this, and I said you have misunderstood it. And now I'm telling you why you have misunderstood it. So I am saying when it says this is the book, is it talking only about verse 7 or is it talking about the full book? Which one?
Make the point. You know.
No, come on.
The answer.
Come on. What is it? Why can't you answer?
Because you
I have to go, okay?
You're coming, yes, inshallah, we will. We'll give you a buzz, definitely we'll be here.
I'll be here. I'll be here.
Yeah, look after yourself. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, you see, brother? That's the point I consistently made.
I'm not a moron if it says it's about the book. It's about the book.
I'm not even suggesting you are, Bruce.
You
don't take this personally, my friend. We are only having a discussion here. And what
then just speak normally. If you want to make a point,
I'm talking normally, Bruce.
It's saying here it's about the book, Bruce. It's not about just that one passage.
But you see, Bruce.
Do you understand that?
You see, okay.
That's a very simple, direct way of making a point.
Okay, I made the point at the start with you. Have you studied the book? What did you say? No. Now, I now have to follow what you have said. I have tried my best to keep it like that, but then you raised an issue, you are fully aware of it, you then finally picked up the book, immediately went to it and said this is what it is. I said, okay, that's not what it says. Yeah?
Oh, it is what it says.
No, about you. Now let's take this. And so I said, look, you've read this, read this. Here it says this is the book. So it is talking about the whole of the book. Have you studied it? No, you haven't.
What's the difference?
I'll tell you.
Studying it
I'll tell you. Because
I've read it twice.
Because you have read it.
I've given it my full attention.
Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, but you haven't studied it. Now, carefully listen to me.
No, I've studied it. That I'd say if I've read a book twice, I've studied.
There you are. There you are. If you believe,
Bruce, levels of study, fine, okay.
Bruce, if you believe,
I'm not a scholar.
Bruce,
I have to be a scholar.
Bruce, if you
right, so I don't have to be a scholar. So where is it I have to be?
Bruce, you see, you know what?
Twice is not enough. How many? 10 times?
Bruce, whichever defense you are trying to put up, I'll tell you why sincerely it's not working. About half an hour ago when I was speaking to David and I introduced the Idiot's Guide, yes, you said very clearly...
Oh, I was playing devil's advocate or something. I don't know. I can't remember about that.
But the point I'm making to you is very simple. You see, my contention, and now you have proved it yet again, that if you have not studied the book...
Then I can't be an unbeliever.
No. How in the world can you... No.
That's your point. That's your logical point.
Can I finish?
How can I be a non-believer if I haven't studied?
Not only that.
I've read it twice. That's not enough to be a non-believer.
Brother.
I'm following your reason. This is your logic.
Fine. There you are, brother. That's yours.
That's your logic.
No, that's fine.
That's your logic.
I'm just giving it to you. You see, whatever my...
That was your defense.
Well, whatever my logic was...
You said of that verse, which I pointed out, that doesn't apply to you because you're not a non-believer. And then you pointed to an earlier verse which says you're not a non-believer because you haven't studied the whole book. Now, I've read the whole book.
Yeah, you have.
Right?
You have. Okay. And you are insisting that that applies to you.
So you're saying...
Are you saying that... Are you insisting that...
I'm not a non-believer.
No, because you see, I go on what you said. You clearly said a few times...
That's your reason.
No, you said clearly a few times you hadn't read it. Then you said you had read it. Then you said you hadn't studied it. Now you are saying you had studied it. If reading it twice is not efficient, I don't know what is. I have followed every track you have put. Still, we haven't got anywhere. But I will tell you one thing,
no,
Bruce.
I've followed every track you've done, and you haven't gone anywhere.
Fine, whatever.
No, so you accept I'm a believer then?
I know.
Okay, I'm a believer or a non-believer. Which one is it?
There you are. You see.
Which one is it?
That is why it is imperative you study the Qur'an.
There's some other one.
No.
There's belief. Okay, so I'm asking a question. If I'm not a believer and I'm not a non-believer.
You are neither.
I am neither. There is another one. What am I?
There is a third one.
Oh, what's the third
What
one?
you are.
Oh, what's the name for that?
Not sure at all.
Is the name of that in the Bible? Not sure at all.
Yes.
In the Quran,
yes, it is. There is in the Bible. Yes, there is in the Bible.
Because in the Quran.
You have read it twice. You should know.
Well, I know it says a lot about
what
believers
does it say?
And non-believers.
What does it say about the third party?
I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the Magians? They are mentioned in the Quran. Of course, you won't know. But the point is, there you are. You see, yes. You see, yes. But here it is. No, it's a word in the Quran. It's not a
translation.
Yes.
Have I even read the Quran according to you? I've read an English.
No, you have told me you have. Then I have to keep to what you said.
Oh well, no. I'm asking what you think.
No, I've just told you. I would never ever.
Have I even read it? I mean, I've only read an English translation.
If you're now doubting yourself, I can't do anything about that.
No, I mean from your standards.
Oh, my standard is simple. You told me you've read it twice, I believe it.
No, but I've read an English translation.
I accept.
Oh, but it didn't have that word marjan or whatever.
That's fine. Then you need to reread it.
So then don't patronize me.
Oh, come on.
I don't know the word marjan.
No, my friend.
I haven't read it properly, obviously.
Bruce, you haven't. Thank you for admitting it.
I don't know the word marjan.
No. You asked, is there a third?
Obviously.
You've taken this too personally,
so what's
Bruce.
The third word?
You have.
What is the third
my friend,
word?
you have taken it too personally. What I would say, Bruce, what I would say is this, yes? Because we come from 250 miles away, we have to catch the motorway again to get back home. Yeah, our cutoff time is 5:30, and according to my reckoning, looking at the sun, it's appearing at 5:30. What's the time? There you are. See? I'm not going to go down there. So, I do sincerely apologize, but I'm going to have to cut the discussion. But, did I give you a card?
It's all right. If you come back, I'll see you again.
No. What we do... Come on, Bruce.
Well, I know what your purpose and intention will be.
It's not.
Giving me that card.
It is not at all. I'm giving you because we have got information which may assist us in our conversation next time.
But it didn't assist us now.
Fair enough.
Well, what you said did not assist us now, did it?
Bruce, can I say something very clearly to you? Intellectually, you are terrified. And that is completely apparent.
If it was the truth, I would love to embrace it. Because it's the truth. I want the truth.
Right, Bruce, if you want the truth...
What I read, when I read this...
There you go again.
It's not the truth. It's no way, it's just a part
And
of
what definition of truth are you using to determine it's not?
What makes sense to me
See, there we go again. All subjective, all subjective.
I should be using some other person's senses then, with some other person's brain intelligence.
No.
Okay, so I'll use my own. And therefore, to me...
The Creator's revelation. There is a third option there as well.
Okay. You're just full of contradictions.
Thank you very much.
Full of contradictions.
Thank you, Bruce. God bless. But I would always suggest that if ever you want to make any comment on any subject matter, logic, reason, tells...
Patronizing again. Okay, fine.
God bless, Bruce.
He took it.